So I just watched a video of a dude talking about just celebrating his brother's 61st birthday, and how he gonna turn 60 next year, and how he never envisioned living to be this old. And it makes me realize that, a lot of people don't even understand or can't even fathom what it is to leave your house every day not sure if you coming home that night. Leave your house every day knowing that it's not as a possibility, but it's a strong possibility that you're going to lose your life at some point during the course of that day. And to do so day in and day out, and to normalize it, to make you think that it's normal. And people hear me say that, and it makes it sound like, a lot of cops deal with that. They leave every day, not sure whether they're gonna come home. But it's not the same thing, because cops have the law behind them. So, and people don't just go around killing cops. Let's be for real. Yes, some cops have been killed, some cops have been shot, but that's just not something that it happens frequently, because again, they got the law behind them, and they don't play when you mess with the police, as they shouldn't. But to go out as a child, we're talking about children, every day, and to not be sure that you're gonna live through the day, it's a mindset that it does something to you. It does something to you forever. And it makes me think. I think I've told this story before, but I remember one time. It's just a highlight. One time we had got to some stuff in the club with some dudes. I'm gonna skip over all that. So things go on, we fight, whatever. We get kicked out the club. So we decide now we not finished. So we pops on the security and all that to get back into the club and get at these dudes. And the next day I had a court date, and when I get to the courthouse, I see one of the security dudes that I popped off the night before with a gold detective shield hanging around his neck, and I'm like, oh shit, this dude is the police. Punched this dude in his face last night. And again, people just don't go around doing things to the police. It's just not what's going down. Not then, not now, not never. So don't let people fool you to believe that people just violating the police whenever they feel like it. That's not really how that goes. So I see him, and I'm like, he sees me. He calls me over, and he like, yo, what's wrong with you, dude? And I'm like, yo, what you talking about? Like, I ain't know you was the police. My bad. So he like, nah, what's wrong with you? Y'all dudes act like y'all ain't scared of nothing. And I remember telling him, and I'm sure I've said this before online, I remember telling him that, or asking him first, what is it for me to be scared of? One of these days, one of these dudes in Flatbush is gonna get tired of my shit, and they're gonna blow my head off. So until that day, I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I probably was about 16 years old at the time. And he was like, are you serious? And I said, sir, I was born in Flatbush, and I'm going to die in Flatbush. And I'm going to live my life until that day comes. And I meant that wholeheartedly. And like I've said before, now I rarely pass through Flatbush. I don't even drive through there. Once in a while, I'm going to have some business that requires me to drive through there. The dudes that Nah, I still know one or two dudes. There's still one or two dudes that I deal with in the bush. That's family that I still deal with. But for the most part, most of the dudes that I talk to, they not in Flatbush no more. So it ain't really no reason for me to go out there. Every once in a while, me and my brother might slide through a baby shower or something, or party or something. But other than that, it ain't really no reason for me to be out there. But I'm just talking about, the psychological effect that these things have, the lives that we live as children. When outside was outside for real, because everybody's outside nowadays. But back then, everybody couldn't be outside. Everybody wasn't allowed outside. And if you tried to come outside and you wasn't supposed to be there, you was punished severely. And you ain't bring your ass back outside no more. I don't know if everybody remembers those days, but it wasn't that long ago. Everybody want to be outside, the hashtag we outside. It sound good. But I just want to put that on your mind. Like, just think about the things that as children we were dealing with. The grown man decisions, the day-to-day life decisions that we had to make as children, man. And how that has affected us. And this is why even today, as a grown man, as a working man, as a family man, my perspective on things is very different than a lot of people, than most people. And I realize that all the time, and sometimes I have to, take a step back and just reflect, like why I view things this way, and why most people can't understand what I'm talking about, man. Just get that some thought.